Good day, race fans, and welcome to Headline News Weekly for the week of April 7th. Today's top stories include an update on uh, the Upland Racing Series Blossom season start, that is, and also Upland Racing League. We see some stories unfolding that are really bringing the season together. So we're going to bring on the Upland Racing League Commissioner Dak, who's going to talk to us a little bit about what stories are unfolding, what the last race of the season looks like, and then we're going to wrap things up with what's going on in the auto market this week. See if we can get everybody a deal on something to go out there and race with. So we're going to step away for a quick commercial, and we will be right back.
Meet Adam, he's an uplander. He's making his way through the metaverse. Here's about the short-term loans from the Bank of Upland. They also have long-term loans, lines of credit, low interest rates, and flexible payment options. Adam can get a loan using his existing property as collateral. Why sell when you can leverage your properties against new properties and start to build your wealth? Come to the Bank of Upland, first among banks.
All right, and we're back. And as I said, after a week of racing in the Upland Racing Series, we take a look at the leaderboards in the championship circuit this week. We have, after a week of racing, we have the 175 to 226 max performance score vehicles. This covers all the S1s and the stock car competition and the Pro Series cars. Competition cars weren't allowed in last season, but they are part of the series this season. So you should be able to get in there with your competition cars in this league. We see Frost season champion Phalos on top again this season with 821 points, a nearly 300 point lead over the second place spot, which is held by URL world number one ranked Metaspook. JH 2271 in third, Ram 2024 in fourth. Wow, all these numbers. Mass Chef in fifth, Maddox sixth, Easy 8 Sherman in seventh, DC Sup 22A in eighth, Wander in 1976 in ninth, Akaproppy making another appearance this season in 10th, aka Nine Fingers in 11th, and MC Stone 420 in 12th. And those are the top 12 racers that if the races were to end today, these guys would be in the championship race at the end of the season that takes place on May 17th. But this is a huge moving leaderboard. This thing moves around all the time. We've got lots of time left in this race series, so I would expect lots of movement in this particular leaderboard for sure. Moving on to the 153 by 160 class. These are the 2Es and the 2R vehicles. We see City Pizen in number one spot with 147 points. Phalos on another leaderboard with 80. Metaspook also on another leaderboard with 28. A new name coming into racing so far this season. Sybaris sitting in the fourth place spot with 22. Willie Cash in 21. JH on another board with 16. 01 Flow with 16 as well. Dave Mack 77 with 14, Umbrella Boy 14, and Upland Dinger also coming in with 14 points. Going to the 133 to 152 MPS class, Crowley 27 in the lead with 116 points. This class is the S4 models and the Series T's models. Kenny Nose coming in second, Ram 2024 in third, Wander 1976 in fourth, Big Frisky fifth, Snicker 2022 in sixth, F and Smoke seventh, Vizio 1245, a new name that I haven't seen on the leaderboard yet. Around coming in at number eight, Mike Benzie in nine, and Maui in the 10th place spot. The 90 to 132 class. This is a very interesting because this is the SE and the van class. Not seeing a lot of action here yet, so this could be an opportunity to get in and earn some points towards the prizes on this leaderboard, as there's not much happening yet. OB1 PR with 6, Ulios with 4, Dagsy with 3, City Pigeon on another leaderboard yet again with 1 point. And as I said, this is a good board to get in on if you haven't done any racing yet and you've got a van sitting around or an SE. Make sure you jump in on that leaderboard. That's a good one. And as always, the entertaining kart class, one of the most active classes other than the champion circuit, running down what's going on this leaderboard. City Pigeon in the top spot with 317 points, a hefty lead over Crowley 27 in second, Ram 2024 in third, Dave America fourth, Warlocks NFT in fifth, aka Nine Fingers sixth, Metaspook in seventh, Mick Stone 420 on another board as well. In the eighth place spot, Mike Benzie in ninth, and KO Ninja URL Racer making his first appearance on these boards at the 10th spot in the Blossom season kart race. So another very exciting season up and coming right now, looking really, really good. Hopefully, we are able to get some more really good racing in here. And as I've said, make sure you hit that 90 to 132 class. That is a great opportunity to come in and make some points. All right, so we are going to run from that and head straight over to our URL season for the Upland Racing League. And to talk about the Upland Racing League, we are going to bring on URL Commissioner Dak. See if we can get him in here. Get the right screen in. There we
Hey,
go. Dak, man, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good.
Excellent. So we are getting ready to wrap up the URL season going into week number 8. Let's run down the leaderboard quickly. We had San Mahoney and Matt Suter sticking to their first and second spots with a third and fourth place win, or third and fourth place finish in race number 7. Wanderer 1976 making his move up the leaderboard with his first season win in race number 7. And, we've been saying all season long that Wander 1976 probably going to be the rookie of the season when we didn't really even consider the fact that San Mahoney is also a rookie this year. And because he's got the Mahoney name, and we're so used to seeing Mahoney drivers at the top of the leaderboard, we have mistakenly uh, thought that he was basically a veteran racer and had kind of overlooked him as a potential rookie of the season. And I think he's probably got it locked in with 3 wins this season and 3 third place finishes to have 6 top 3 finishes in 7 races. So, break it down for us here, Dak. This is looking like it's going to be really, really, this is going to turn out, first of all, to be a great season. But we've got some storylines that are running through this board that I'd really like to talk about. And first and foremost, as you can see, we've got father son sitting at number 1 and 2 on the leaderboard, and really the best hope for anyone to win this series is going to be for one of those two, because statistically, when you do out the math, there's not really anybody that can catch them, even if San Mahoney were to finish in last place. I don't think he could be caught. But there's some other stuff going on. So break it down for us. What do you see here?
Yeah, so what's going to be interesting is that there are like 3 stories that have developed from the season. And one is father son, right? I mean, who doesn't love a good father son story, right? And Matsuda, he was the first one to really kind of jump in and take racing in Upland pretty serious, forming the Mahoney MV Motors racing team. They have been aggressive about their practices, about their strategy on taking on tracks, on working as a team. And it has paid off for them as they have been consistently at the top of the URL leagues or seasons. Now, as it stands, this season is no different in that regard. Sam Mahoney, though, is almost guaranteed the championship. The only person that could take him out is his dad. And I know Matsuda is competitive, so he's not going to just give it up, right? So that would be a heck of a story. But what's I think gets to be, that's a nice story. Next level story is, what if Wanderer actually ends up taking out Matsuda and jumps into second place, and then we have two rookies taking the top two spots? That I think would be a first, and it would really kind of show how competitive racing is getting, where the rookies are starting to come in, and Wanderer, San, and Mwaga are rookies. I mean, they are they're showing some really good kind of action. Obviously, from the URS, the Upland Racing Series, they have been able to get a lot of practice and step into the URL role, where competition is obviously pretty fierce. And for anyone who is doing the URS, teams are something that's happened is, I think people are looking at teams as a real option in upland racing, only because it has made a difference when you have team members being able to block or control the pace of the race so that one of the team members takes the win. And so, I mean, you yourself, you're a team manager, right? And
Hmm.
I know you've felt it with Castle Elite Racing. And now we have other teams, right? We have Tolton Racing, we have Kern Motors, and Hyde Park Ninjas. I mean, they've always represented, but little by little, I think they're going to start building their team as their node grows and their neighborhood grows. So team competitions have really become important, and all of these rookies and all of these folks that are racing in URS, they're going to have the opportunity to join teams where there are some benefits, where you can kind of mitigate your risk and so forth, and win some big prizes. So it is, I think, going to be really interesting. The final story of this season is the battle for fifth and sixth, right? So we always look at the top six, because in our final races, we always end up coming into the top six, make it to the final race. So who are the top six in general? And when you look at the fifth and sixth spot, KO Ninja is doing really well at locking in the number four, and I think has a chance at number three. But the fifth and sixth spot is what really is being challenged. And if we kind of take a look at the fifth and sixth spot, we have 3 points separating fifth from eighth. And so this sixth race, or the eighth race, the final race, is really going to determine who ends up in the fifth and sixth spot, and it's anyone's race for fifth and sixth. So I think that's going to be interesting, because obviously the top six will always get attention from the races. They also are automatically qualified for future racing in URL. So there is a lot of opportunity for them to kind of continue a racing career.
Oh yeah, and for sure. And I think even if you not just fifth through eighth, but even if you look at the fourth place spot where KO Ninja currently sits right now, now he's got a pretty good lead over fifth place for that spot. But anybody from fifth through seventh, if they have a good finish this week, could overtake that fourth place spot as well. So,
Yeah.
providing that, if all the cards fall into place and KO runs a bad race, not that I want to jinx him to do that, but it is something that can happen. And, so there is potential for, anybody up into the eighth place spot to really make a dent into that leaderboard and really move up before the end of the season, with one race left to go.
Exactly. So it's been a lot of fun in that regard.
Oh, for sure. For sure. It's, we've had throughout the season, there's been a lot of storyline changes kind of in and out. KO Ninja making headlines a couple of times, MWAG and Mizzy making the headlines a couple of times, Wander 1976 just having one of the strongest rookie seasons we've seen. And you just can't discount the Mahoney team and San Mahoney on his rookie season. To have six top three finishes in seven races is phenomenal racing. That just is absolutely spectacular. And if we even take a look at, we talked about what matters, when it comes to this, and why is the fourth place, fifth place, sixth place so important. And if you look at the money board, for our money leaders, Stan Mahoney through 7 races has made 490,000 upics. So that, and then Matsuda in second with 460,000. But if you take a look all the way down, basically to the ninth place spot at 140,000 upics, uh, they're still making something. It's they're everybody in the top 9 has now made more than what their drivers' fees would have been for the series. And that to me is just phenomenal. It's fantastic.
And that really is all thanks to the sponsors. I mean, if it wasn't for the sponsors coming in, we would not be able to do the prizes the way we do. So I know we highlight our sponsors all the time, and I hope everyone goes and checks out their notes, their stores, especially those that have IRL businesses like Anthology Puzzles and the High Park Ninjas, their Ninjaba Coffee. I mean, it's kind of cool to see IRL kind of blending into and bridging over into the metaverse. So definitely check out our sponsors and support them because we want to keep them coming back so we can keep doing these massive prizes.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And so we've only got 1 week left of the season. We are going to be running
Speaking of
on.
sponsors,
I know. 1 week left of the season, and we're running on the Northumberland track. Now, this is so our sponsors for this week are our corporate sponsors, are also the track sponsors for this week. Is the UpX podcast, and Northumberland is kind of like their home track. So they are UpX podcast everything this week, and we're super excited about it, and great having them. Let's take a quick look at the Northumberland track. We're looking at 12 turns, not a lot of turns, not very technical. It is a fast 2.20 miles. I would expect somewhere around the 3 minute 20-second mark, or roughly thereabouts, for a good clean race. Um, so I think this is an exciting track to finish the year on. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. If we take a look at who's going to be in what race for the heat lineup for race 8, we've got heat number 1 with KO Ninja, M Wagon Mizzy, Buellman, TB 125, Swedish Mogul, and Dr. Tid running in heat number 1. Heat 2 is San Mahoney, Matsuda, Wanderer 1976, and J.H. Tolton and Metaspook. So that second heat is going to be really interesting.
yeah, and the way it kind of broke down was just looking at the top 6 and breaking them into different groups so that they were kind of racing and earning their spot for the final race.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So I don't know about you, but I am super excited for racing this week. Very stoked to see what happens on Friday. So just looking forward to another great week of URL racing right here on the MRNN network.
And I just want to give a quick shout out to Stock Car Pro Brazil. They they really kind of have been involved and have enjoyed their partnership with Upland. The stock cars are beautiful when they race. It's just they're so nice. And obviously, as we said before, we have a Fidgetal that is a signed cap from the from Stock Car Pro Brazil driver, and I'm looking forward to maybe hearing from them. We might have a little surprise.
Ooh, interesting, interesting. All right, well, very good. Dak, thank you very much for coming on, giving us the breakdown of season of the Stock Car Competition Series 24 season and the look at the leaderboard. And cannot wait for the races this Friday. Cannot wait to see what happens. Rock on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and move right on over to our auto market wrap up for the week. taking a look at what is going on. Let's see if we can find some deals for everybody out there to get racing. Looking at this week's auto market wrap up brought to you by Ablin.me. The cargo van UPX price starts to rebound from last week of over 120% as it drops back to reality somewhat with a 60.02% decrease in the UPX price for this week. The Series 2 UPX price drops 29.17%. And what still remains is the current deal. Both the Series T and the Series TE have fallen under mint by 3.75 and 2% respectively. And the Series T suffering a USD loss as well for the second week in a row at just 52.50 USD, making it still the best vehicle deal in Upland. So get out there and get yourself one of these great vehicles, get to racing, get yourself some prizes. And that is going to do it for this week's show. Thank you for watching Headline News Weekly. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time on the track.